Fresh air, longer days, a chance to reset. This season, let therapy be part of your spring cleaning. Clearing mental clutter, shaking off stuckness, and building something better. Grow Therapy helps you get there. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 15th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Your personal information is being sold online right now, not by hackers, but by data brokers. Companies you've never heard of that collect your personal information and sell it. There are hundreds of these sites gathering your phone number, home address, your relatives' information, even your browsing activity, and once your data is out there, it spreads fast. That's why scam calls know your name. It's how strangers can look you up in seconds. And trying to remove your data yourself can take hours per site, with no guarantee it stays gone. Aura does it for you. They automatically find your information and send removal requests to over 200 data broker sites, then keep monitoring to make sure it stays gone, because your data can be relisted at any time. With Aura, you can even see where and when your data was found and removed. The longer your data stays out there, the more it spreads. Try Aura for free at aura.com/hidden. That's aura.com/hidden to try Aura for free.
First, the bad news. SAP Business AI won't generate amusing holiday cards, but it will personalize career paths for your people and let you know which suppliers are best, so you can be ready for the next opportunity. Revolutionary technology, real-world results. That's SAP Business AI.
Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Tuesday, July 6th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. A bit of a slow news day over the past day because in the United States it is a bank holiday. Everyone was enjoying time with their families, so not much Instagram news to report, but I did post a new episode of my podcast, the Instagram Stories podcast, which you can get on Apple Music, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Casts, every other podcast platform that I'm not thinking of at the moment. And on this episode, I interview Sara Alter, who runs Moment Consulting. Sara is a super nice person. She shares some really good tips on how to get your reel seen by more people by using a trick that I never thought of before. But she also talked about how to prepare for the time when you do get some content that really blows up and what you should do ahead of time. I love this concept. Here's a clip of the episode.
You know, we're in the middle of this pandemic, and I wrote a quote about motherhood and work and kind of like this, you know, kind of the struggle of managing it all and just doing our best, and, you know, forgot about it. And then within a week, you know, the post went viral to the point that, I mean, it's been seen like well over, you know, 1 million people at this point. Wow. And, you know, started getting noticed by celebrities and, you know, celebrity followed brands. And it just kind of took on a life of its own, which was a really interesting experience for a small business that was slowly growing on social media over time to have, you know, millions of eyeballs on my page and my website over this 2-week period.
Did you learn anything from that experience?
I sure did. I learned a few things. The biggest takeaway, I would say, in terms of, you know, how I can relate this back to your audience is that, you know, while there were so many people that did land on my Instagram page as a result of this quote going viral, the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that stayed didn't stay and follow me because of that quote in particular. They stayed and continued to follow me because of all of the content that I had created prior to that moment. And so the lesson my takeaway from all of that is kind of like, I'm probably dating myself with my age, but like that like Kevin Costner movie from back in the day, like, if you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
It's like I built this account and I created content for close to a year that I imagined was, whether it was being seen by 20 people or a million people, I still created that same level and value of content, or I hoped to, so that when that rare opportunity came and all of these people, landed on my page, they stayed. And so, the takeaway is you're not creating your feed so that, for these individual posts, so that every post is going to be like the money maker, or every post is going to be the post that brings in all of these, thousands of new followers. It's just not common. It's not realistic. But the idea is that you look at your feed as more of a portfolio or a storefront that you're building over time, so that when, the opportunity hits where people are, virtually strolling by, that you do catch their eye and they want to stay.
Right.
So I would say that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, that's a great illustration. And I would think of it like a puzzle piece, right? When you put that last puzzle piece in, then it becomes clear, it's not on piece number one that you expect, oh yeah, now I'll be able to see the final picture. Okay, that's it for today's episode. But if you want to hear the rest of that interview, look for the Instagram Stories podcast wherever you get podcasts. It's episode number 48. If you would like to be interviewed on the podcast, or you know someone who would be a great guest, maybe you want to make an intro, send me a DM at Daniel Hill Media. I would love to set that up. Thanks so much for listening, and come back tomorrow for more Instagram news.